it's Jessie. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video and welcome back to another one of my monthly TBRs. Yay! It's my favourite video of the month to film and I'm so excited for this month. We have a couple of little changes, but I think overall this is probably going to be a better way for me to do it because we're getting a little bit out of hand. If you guys haven't been watching the previous videos, I would recommend to because they are super fun. I'll link them in the cards. But I was basically doing a thing where every time I would not read a book of a previous TBR, I would then have to add another book onto my current TBR for that month. So I would start off with 6 or 7, and then because I missed 4 books of my last month TBR, then I would add 3 or 4 books on, and then the next month, because there was even more books, I'd not read even more books than before, and then I'd have to add even more books on, and it was just becoming a never-ending cycle where I was getting like 18 books, and I was like, this is just not gonna work, is it? This is not gonna work. So instead, what we're gonna be doing is if I don't finish my TBR, no matter whether it's 1 book, 5 books, whatever, then I'm just gonna be doing 1 additional punishment roll. So we're gonna be generating 6 books every month, and if I don't finish, I'll be doing a punishment little roll. And I've got on my phone, on my little spinny wheel, a little wheel of like punishments that I could get. So I mean, they're all on my TBR, so none of these are like books that I don't want to read. They're not going to be like terrible things. It's not going to be like read a terrible book, or at least I hope so. I will just show you what they are so you guys can see, and we will do one because I did not finish my previous TBR, though I did get reasonably close. So you can see the TBR punishment wheel here. We're going to be just rolling that at the start of the video every time that I don't complete my previous TBR. So on here we've got classic, over 500 pages, entirely random TBR, lowest rated, and TBR veteran. So these aren't necessarily like terrible things, but they are just like slightly more difficult prompts that I don't think will necessarily fit into my monthly reading as well, ones that I've maybe been putting off, ones that I've been intimidated by, that type of thing. So I think that's going to be a whole lot better. And also I'm going to be rolling with 2 dice. One of you guys did recommend me this to, I think it was cut down the number of rolls, but I'm just doing it to keep track of when I roll doubles. So previously I was doing 1 singular die, and if I rolled like 2 numbers in a row that were the same for separate rolls, I would add a book on, but a lot of the time I would not be remembering what my previous number was, and I would look back in editing and be like, oh, I should have added 2 books on because I got doubles twice, and I'd forget, and that just wasn't working. So now I have 2 dice, so if I roll doubles we will add on a book. We'll be able to tell immediately because they will literally be right there as doubles. So that is all of the little admin stuff out of the way. I think that's everything I had to talk about, and without further ado, I think let's just get straight into it. We're going to start off with 6 plus the punishment, and yeah, I can't wait to generate my August TBR. So as you saw before, here are our punishments. Oh, classic, lovely, perfect, love it. So classic is our first punishment. So as you saw, we had to generate our punishment wheel, obviously, and we got a classic. So this could be reasonably like difficult, but I decided to go for one that I thought wouldn't be too hard. It's not something that was on my radar. It's not something that was even on my physical TBR, but for this one I've decided to go for The Murder of Roger Ackroyd by Agatha Christie. So I've read The Mysterious Affair of Styles, which is, I believe, her first ever Hercule Poirot novel. I didn't love it. I don't love a classic mystery a lot of the time. I think I've said that so many times on this channel, but I have heard really, really excellent things about this one, and the twist specifically. A lot of people say this is like one of the best twists ever, one of her best twists. So I, at the moment, know nothing about it. So I think before it does eventually get spoiled for me, which I'm sure it will do in time, I might as well read it now whilst I have the opportunity to be shocked by it. So I can get the audiobook for this on Everand. I'm not sure how it's going to fit into a video, but that is the first book on the TBR, Murder of Roger Ackroyd by Agatha Christie. So for our first roll, obviously we're going to be able to make it a little bit further around the board. Each goes well with 2 dice. We have a 4 and a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Scroll on Instagram. So I'm going to pull up my book Instagram now, and I'm going to refresh and see what the first book that comes up, and if we don't get anything for a while, I'll then do the explore page. So here's the book Instagram, and I'm going to refresh it now. So that is a book that was on a previous TBR, so we probably won't include that one, but this is the edition Across the Line. That was on last month's TBR that I didn't get to. Oh, okay. Immediately we've got a novel love story, so I can definitely put that one on the TBR. Perfect. So now for our first proper roll. As you saw, we got Scroll on Instagram, and this one was pretty easy. I think it was like the second one that came up, and we got a novel love story by Ashley Poston. This is her 2024 release, which I am so excited for. I loved both The Dead Romantics and The 7-Year Slip. They were at least a 4-star for me, so I'm really, really excited to pick this one up. The other 2 I wasn't as quite like 5-star in love with as everyone else was, and because some people haven't enjoyed this one one quite as much. Makes me think that maybe like I'm just the inverse and I could really love this one. I believe this is basically about a girl who goes into, like, magically into the world of her favourite book series, which is just the dream. You know what I mean? It's just the dream. Well, maybe not for me because my favourite series is The Hunger Games, so like that would not be the dream, but like maybe going into Happy Place, maybe going into like, what are the vibes? Thursday Murder Club, I would love to meet all of them. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm sure I'd have a very fun time in most of the world. But yeah, this is one I'm really excited for, and it's a new release. I think it's going to be really great. I've been super slumpy, so I'm really excited about this one, and I think this could potentially pull me out the slump. I think a lot of these that I've got picked out will like help the slump. We're fighting the slump one page at a time, and I'm going to really try. I'm going to really try. So that is the first one on the TBR. You can't even see it. There we go. So for roll number 2, we have a 5 and a 2, which is a Booktuber's fave. So our next roll was a Booktuber's fave, and for this one I do actually have a little spreadsheet for a video that I have been putting off forever, which is reading Booktuber's best books of 2023. This is not one on there, but it was one that was mentioned countless times, and it's part of a series that was also mentioned countless times. So for that I've picked Powerless by Elsie Silver. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. The only reason I haven't picked up this book sooner is because it is earmarked for a specific video that has a lot of books for it, so it's a bit difficult to kind of find the time to film. I am so excited for this. My best friend in real life is absolutely obsessed with Reckless, and she has been hounding me to continue on with the series so I can get to that book. Like, she's read it like maybe 3 or 4 times. She loves that book to pieces. So I am very much excited for Powerless. I think this is going to be right up my street. I love a childhood friends to lovers type of vibe, which is, I believe, what, yeah, Jasper and Sloane are. 2 childhood best friends, 2 broken hearts, 1 impromptu road trip to get away from everything. Exceptional. And also, when I did my 5-star audit video, I said I really liked celebrity romances, and I believe this is kind of that vibe. It says, to Jasper Jarvis's fans, he's just the hockey heartthrob on TV, which makes me think maybe a little bit one of us is famous. Who knows? But yeah, I cannot wait. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to pick this one up. It's gonna be such a good month. I can't wait to get to both of those. We are starting off very well, besides the classic, but I'm sure that'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. Then our next roll, a 1 and a 6. We have award winner. So next up we had award winner, and for this one I've picked one that won the Goodreads Choice Awards book for best fiction book for 2022 I think it was, and that is Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. I've talked about this book so much. I'm really looking forward to it. It's been on so many like seasonal TBRs, books I need to read type of lists. I'm just a bit intimidated by it because it is like long litfic pretty much, but I'm really looking forward to this. I think I might really enjoy it. How many times can I say really? This is about kind of like friendships through kind of like time, and it's about 2 friends that like develop a video game together, I believe. So I'm really looking forward to this. Looking at all these books is making me so excited to be out of my reading slump. I cannot wait. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. It's had excellent reviews. I think it's one of the most beloved books of the last like 5 years or so, and this is also for specific video plans, so I'm very much excited to get around to this. I cannot wait. Then for our 4th roll and 5th book, a 4 and a 2. A 2023 release. So next up we had a 2023 release, which is pretty easy because the majority of my TBR probably is 2023 releases, and for this one I have one that I hauled very recently, and that is What Lies in the Woods by Kate Alice Marshall. So this is the book for July for the book club I'm a part of, so I definitely need to get my skates on with reading this one soon. This is a thriller. I believe it's about like 3 girls who, when they were children, something happened in the woods and there was a murder or something, and their testimony was what put away the serial killer, but we're coming back to it a few years later when they're adults, and I believe maybe they lied and things weren't quite as they said they were. Who knows? I'm very much looking forward to this. I need to read it for the book club anyway, but I do have kind of in the back of my mind thinking like books that can get me out of my reading slump, books that I think I'm going to be really excited to read and can't put down, and that's kind of the vibes of a lot of this TBR, especially this one. I love a good thriller, I love a good fast-paced book, so I'm really hoping that I do just really love this one, and if all goes well I'll read it very quickly and it will get me out of my slump. So yeah, very excited about this, and also because I hauled it so recently, I definitely think it's like up there in like my mental TBR and ones that I'm very much excited to read. For our 5th roll, a 5 and a 6. which is a new to me author. So next up we got a new to me author. So I went along with the vibes of books I'm really excited for right now, books I think will get me out my slump, books that I have hauled recently, and we've gone for Queen Bee by Juno Dawson. So this is the prequel to the Her Majesty's Royal Coven series, and although I haven't read those books yet, I have been told that this is kind of like entirely separate, so I can read this by itself. I'm so excited for it. I think I'm going to. It's a very short novella. I've got the very fun signed special edition, which I love, and yeah, I'm just really feeling like the vibes that are calling to me towards this book right now. I don't know why. The text on the page is absolutely massive, which is a treat, so I definitely think I could finish this probably in one sitting in like 2 hours or so. It's very much a short book. It's under 200 pages, and this one is also illustrated, which is gorgeous. And now that I can't find any illustrations, but I'm sure there are some in here, it does say so. But yeah, I am so excited to pick up this one. I absolutely cannot wait, and I think I'm going to have a really excellent time with it. So hopefully this can also pull me out of my slump too. And then for our final roll, 2 ones, so we're adding another roll, but because that's a double, so we have 1, 2, which is continue a series. Okay, so sorry for the slight change in angle if you can see one. I did have to rechange my camera battery, but as you saw, we got to continue a series, which is such a fun one, and for me this is one that I think is definitely going to get me out of my slump, like potentially single-handedly, and that is Obsidio by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This is the 3rd and final, I believe, book in the Illuminae series. This is a like mixed media YA sci-fi book, and I adore these. I've read the first 2 and I absolutely love them. I've had the best time with both of them. They've both been above a 4. I am so excited for this one. I believe this is going to tie some of our extra characters together that we followed in the other 2 books, as well as some other people, and maybe be a little bit conclusive to the series as a whole and the overarching kind of storyline that we have. This one I do think could be a 5, definitely, but my only issue is that I feel like in the other 2 it was very repetitive. They were both very similar to each other, and I don't know how similar this one's going to be to them. We will see. Very much looking forward to this one. It's such a quick read. They're like 600 pages long, but I have absolutely no issue flying through them. I love them so much, so really excited to have this one on the TBR for this month. I think I'm going to have such a fun time with it. I cannot wait. And maybe our final roll. Let's not get doubles again. Perfect. A 6 and a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is new to me, which is basically a book that I've hauled recently. And for our final roll, we got new to me, which is basically a book that I've hauled very recently. This is the most recent book I've hauled. You guys haven't even seen it yet. It's that recent. I have not even like shown it in a video, but that is The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. So this is the exclusive edition from Waterstones, which is just like absolutely stunning. She's gorgeous. So this is a little bit out of my comfort zone. It's not something I'd usually pick up, but it is the book club, like I mentioned earlier. It's our book for August, so I do have to read it this month, and I thought it would make it a little bit easier for me if I do put it on the TBR, and I don't want to like be nervous about it and then put it off and then never read it. I do think I might enjoy it. I've not read anything by Leigh Bardugo before. This is a standalone, and I believe it's kind of like the Spanish Inquisition, but there's magic. Who knows? I do want to go in pretty blind. I've heard excellent things obviously about like Six of Crows, Ninth House, etc., so I'm looking forward to it. I don't know what I'm going to think. I'm going in with very low kind of no expectations really at all, and yeah, let's see. But this is a gorgeous edition, so I'm very excited to have it on the TBR. So this is our July TBR. That's such a lie. This is our August TBR. I am so excited for all of these books. I definitely think these will be perfect to get me out of my reading slump, and I'm hoping to come back next month and potentially have read them all for like the first time ever. So yeah, let me know if you guys have read any of these and enjoyed them. I would love to hear about it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and if you enjoyed, don't forget to give it a like down below, hit subscribe and turn the bell to join a little club, and make sure to turn on all notifications. And if you want to watch one of my other videos, there'll be 2 on the screen now to pick from, as also linked up in the cards from earlier. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!